Hey everybody, have you ever questioned whether you were depressed or going through a depressive episode? Well, if so, you've come to the right place because today I'm here to talk about depression, what it is, some of the symptoms, and the 5 warning signs you want to make sure you pay attention to. Hi, I'm Jordan Travers. I'm a licensed clinical psychotherapist and the clinical director of Awake Therapy. If you're interested in working with either me or a member of my team, you can do so by clicking on the link below. Before I jump into today's topic, I want to share with you what depression is not. Depression is not sadness. Sadness is a normal emotion. It's an emotional response to things like disappointment or frustration. And yes, there are times in our lives where we will feel depressed, such as the death of a loved one or losing our job. But when it comes up for no reason and won't go away, that's a sign that we might want to talk to somebody. So today I'm here to talk about 5 of the many signs that you're experiencing a depressive episode and that it might be time to speak to a mental health professional. Sign number 1, low mood. Depression is a mood disorder, which means that it impacts our mood and how we relate to the world around us. But when you hear that word, low mood, you might not know what it means. Generally, low mood means a feeling of being apathetic, loss of interest in doing things, feeling guilty or bad about yourself with the fear that it won't go away. Sign number 2, loss of pleasure and interest. It's not uncommon for us to feel tired or with low energy when we're in the throes of a depressive episode. And when we're experiencing these symptoms, it's not uncommon for us to stop engaging with the world around us or doing the things we love to do. Things like hobbies, hanging out with friends or family, or practicing self-care. We intentionally or unintentionally shut ourselves off from the world. Or we start to experience something called anhedonia, which is just a fancy clinical word that means the inability to feel pleasure. Like we might try to engage in activity we normally love to do, but when we're depressed and we try and do it, we're feeling nothing. Or it now feels like a chore. Which this can be a vicious cycle because the very things that normally bring you pleasure and help you feel like yourself are now having the reverse effect, which can make your depression even that much harder to get yourself out of. Sign number 3, sleep problems. When we're tired with decreased energy, the idea of getting out of bed can seem monumental. In fact, it's not uncommon for those of us who are experiencing depression to have trouble taking care of our ADLs, which is an acronym for activities of daily living, doing things like brushing our teeth, taking a shower, getting dressed, moving around. You also might experience a reverse insomnia effect. Something like you want to sleep during the day when it's light outside, but when it's evening, you find it difficult to fall asleep, which can be disruptive to your normal sleep rhythm cycle. Sign number 4, changes in weight and appetite. Weight is a sensitive topic, and our weight and appetite fluctuates normally for a variety of reasons that are outside of the scope of today's video. However, when we're depressed, some of us might experience significant changes, either increases or decreases in our weight and appetite. A sign that your weight is being impacted by depression is paying attention to your hunger cues. Are you eating when the urge to consume shows up, or starving yourself to avoid or numb the pain? And last but not least, sign number 5, irritability and emotional outbursts. 1 minute you're sad and exhausted, and the next minute you're yelling and screaming at the person closest to you. Depression is known to cause mood swings, and sometimes your emotions or mood go up and down for no explainable reason at all. Some of you might be wondering, well, if I'm experiencing depression, what can I do? Things like cognitive behavioral therapy, otherwise known as CBT, are one of many effective treatments in helping to mitigate depressive symptoms and has been shown to help individuals experiencing depression get back to feeling better, sometimes along with pharmacological interventions too. which is just a fancy way of saying taking medication. The best thing to do if you find yourself experiencing some of these symptoms is to talk to someone. There's no shame in meeting with a therapist because you're not alone. It takes a lot of bravery and courage to get help. And engaging in therapy or taking medication does not mean you're weak or flawed, because depression isn't something that you can just magically snap out of. I'm curious, do you find this information informative? Do you like hearing about clinical diagnoses and some of the signs to look out for? Let me know in the comments section below. If you find my videos helpful and informative, don't forget to subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you guys later this week. Bye.